You should already know happy now. Just looking at the growth, of everything I'm doing. And a part of me, not doing my videos was to, fall back for a second, and kind of take care of self. But then I also realized that there was this voice of, doubt and fear that was trying to like get me to back away from, speaking. And how I realized, all right, this just has to be doubt and fear. Not necessarily meant for me to like just quit, doing videos in that sense. But I'm like, because I done had so many trips and just my own inner guidance let me know that the way I articulate things and the way I share information, you know, uh, verbally, is a gift. You know what I'm saying? Now, sometimes which that's just for the thoroughness of explanation, you know what I'm saying? Where the 4 hour, 3 hour videos that, of course, some may feel like, oh man, I don't want to sit and pay attention to that, you know. But again, even with a lot of this information, it's not meant to be a bite sized morsel. Some information is, some information not, you know what I'm saying? Again, in most cases, when we talk about anything spiritual, it's a book that could be written on one aspect of spirituality, let alone us explaining all these different aspects in one or two videos. We just scraping the surface of certain little areas to the best of our ability, you know. But just bringing it back, seeing like first and foremost, seeing that we are the creators of our reality in the essence of, you know, how our subconscious is programmed. That's the experience that we have, and right now I'm seeing more than ever to, for one, do the integration work, not looking at no part of yourself as bad or evil. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized, damn, that's powerful. Like in the sense of like our mind's so powerful that if somebody, tricked us into creating an enemy out of something, like we would keep that thought to the point where we would create that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like if somebody got in my mind and made me think that, you know, again, like having money is evil and people with money is trying to kill me. If I hold on to that thought, I keep thinking people with money are trying to kill, you know what I'm saying? To the point where, something like that would manifest, and again, even with integration work, bringing it back to integrity, it's like the part of me that could be aggressive, the part of me that could whip somebody ass, or practice martial arts, you know what I'm saying? That part of me is not bad, you know what I'm saying? Of course, those parts of me is not always displayed, but again, like realizing to not deny any part of self, and again that it a lot of times goes back to the psychology dealing with, or should I say dealing with the subconscious, and us saying, "Oh, all right, that's bad. If I had expressed this emotion or do this thing, that's bad. But if I do this, that's good." And it's to realize it's neither, it's neither good nor bad. You know what I'm saying? It has cause and effect. You do this, it has a effect. After you do this, it has an effect after you do it. How you receive that effect, what I'm saying, is up to your perception. Again, a person could either go to jail and be like, man, that's the most fucked up situation that ever happened to me. Or a person could go to jail and be like, bro, I learned a lot. And I feel like, with a lot of references to, this earthly plane being like, like a prison, is like, are you in prison, constantly complaining? Because it is what it is. Now it's the vibrate. You at where you at. You could either be constantly complaining about where you at or, valuing your experience, you know what I'm saying, being fully present and seeing what you could learn from your experience in prison, hypothetically speaking, but also again, like, because without looking at it as a bad thing, because again, I know even that, like, people hear the word prison and you think like, oh no, don't use that word for comparing Earth, because some people hear the word prison and just automatically have a bad connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? Hence why, choosing our words and when we're expressing things. But again, jail is not nothing bad nor good. It is what it, is a person being locked up for a certain amount of time, you know, with certain aspects that are not beneficial, you know, to some extent to certain aspects of being. But then on the flip side, again, excuse me, there's a positive and negative to everything. It's crystal beautiful, man. This smoky quartz helps clear and cleanse a lot of sacral chakra energy, you know what I'm saying? But if I take it and throw it at you, or if I sit down and try to do a spell to fuck up your sacral chakra and then give it to you, you know, again, this crystal is still neutral. You know what I'm saying? And again, our actions are still, you know, cause and effect. Whether I try to put a spell on somebody else with it or you know use it to heal myself, you know, it's neither good or bad, but whichever choice I make, it comes with an energy that comes back to me, you know. Because the Akashic Records, something I'm realizing to be aware of is just how much the Akashic Records is truly, it's like that, whatever you call it, that person in court that's just typing everything that's being said, you know, like every word, every thought, you know. So, like, again, as much as we don't want to take our spiritual growth too serious, you know what I'm saying? Like, what we like, you know, like too serious, you know, like where it's like, all right, it's not even enjoyable and kind of like, in essence, miss the point, you know, but you don't want to take it too serious, but you definitely want to, you know, be accountable and responsible with how you carry yourself, knowing that, you know, and again, cause and effect. Now, if you know personally, like, I don't care if I'm this particular about words, and I'll deal with what comes with me not being particular with the way I express myself, then that's cool for you, you know what I'm saying? Then, like, you, bam, you know, because I realize, you know, also, like, the afterlife, quote unquote, are transitioning, exist in our now moment in essence, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll go through that life review before we actually, you know, transition out of the bodysuit, you know. But again, not going too deep into that. Where was I? Oh yeah, using YouTube being like a platform, like as a weapon in essence, you know, in a form of expression. But where I was going at first was talking about like the psychology behind it, you know, in the sense of, you know, being confident already in what you do, like knowing that you're protected, you know, and everything. And then on top of that, you know, like the YouTube channel is a reflection of sharing, like shining a light on certain aspects, you know, because the more we could shine a light, you know, on certain aspects, I think about like you know, like Martin having his moment where he got out of his car and ran in the street and was like, you know, hey, bro, something weird going on here. You know what I'm saying? And that put a lot of eyes on that situation and makes it harder for, you know, for let's say whatever Martin was dealing with in that situation, it makes it harder for that energy to move so freely because more people are aware that, all right, maybe it is some fugazi stuff going on, you know what I'm saying, or whatever the case may be, you know. So I just, again, like, see the blessing of, you know, sharing things on a platform and having a platform in general, because I could even feel like when I deal with certain people, places, and things, you know, like certain places won't hassle me about a mask in essence, you know, in a lot of cases. More so though when they feel that energy, because I be in that mode, like, bro, I make a YouTube video and just expose all of this right now, you know what I'm saying? Because again, like with the value of being able to reach, you know, at least over 90,000 people, you know, with one of my videos getting that many views, you know, like that's a power, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that ability, you know, or I can imagine like a superhero or a villain, you know what I'm saying, like dealing with each other and, you know, that hero has like a platform where they do videos and stuff and like, you know, they could be like hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I'm saying? When you see me in public and I'm moving like this, it's probably because a villain is close around. You know what I'm saying? To make, you know, like all that goes into it. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely, again, and when I say that from that perspective, it's not just like, again, seeing your media platform is like a weapon of exposure, but again, it's not like, again, you have no enemies except for the ones you create in your mind, so again, just know that you're always protected and guided, and just at the same time, making sure, like with certain little things, like having a YouTube platform or whatever the case may be, like expressing ourselves, sharing our story, because the more, like, shout out to the Till Swans of the world, even myself, I dealt with certain energies, and it was like, I had to deal with the aspect of like, all right, I don't want to fear monger people, with the exposure or expression of what, I done seen or had to deal with. And at the same time, me sharing my story, it allows for, more people like, all right, damn, I could share my story without being crazy. And like, I can share my story, you know what I'm saying? It creates that room, you know what I'm saying? Again, like we shining that light in that dark area, the subconscious, that allows for that, that room for growth and expansion, you know, because something that was once hidden is no longer hidden, you know what I'm saying? Because again, right now, it's not no like, end of the world aspect to that, extent. Again, it's the end of the world for some because it's a paradigm shift. And if we're holding on to the, the old ways of doing things, and that, again, that's all of us accountable on all levels, it's like shifting and not holding on, to past people, places, and things that no longer serve our highest good, Because again, like realizing upon my own growth, like it's like addiction, and it's really real at, like, it's no longer just about like what you see with your bodysuit, as much as it's like, not getting all biblical, but not getting all biblical, but I'm about to get all biblical. But like when they talk about principalities, or like the revelations and spiritual warfare is not against people, but against principalities and stuff like that. But long story short, you know what I'm saying? It is like a, an energetic, for lack of a better word, war that's trying to be pushed inside of us, for again, as above, so below, as within, so without. It's trying to be promoted internally so it could manifest externally. Because again, this external realm is a reflection of our internal realm. If everybody walking around here, you know, doing insane things or operating with a lack of love, then our the world, this dream world gonna reflect a lack of love. And again, with that aspect, like, yes, it's an illusion. Yes, it is holographic. Yes, it is a dream. And at the same time, if I'm dreaming, I would definitely like for my dream to be pleasant until I go into the next realm or wherever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want my dream to be as pleasant as possible, you know. But again, even now for myself, also realizing the importance of emotional detachment, you know, because again, that causes, and nothing's bad or good about the reincarnation cycle. Uh, it's just understanding, if you would like to break out of certain cycles and create new cycles, of growth and expansion, have to be less reactive, because a lot of our reactions come from emotional attachments. If I'm emotionally attached to feeling some kind of way about being short, then anytime somebody says something about being short, literally, it's like they got a remote control for me. And they know that, all right, I probably can't control, let's just say, that sharp person, you know, in any other area, but I could control them if I call them short. I know I could at least make them mad or act emotionally if I call them short. So, I started to see, like, all right, yes, the mastery of emotions, you know what I'm saying, and our expression of them. That doesn't mean we don't express our emotions. That doesn't mean that we try to keep ourselves emotionally numb. We still have our emotions. Again, that's a part of our human experience. It's not being attached to these emotions or having these emotions, again, like so rooted in us that, again, like we just react every time, you know what I'm saying, instead of responding, instead of Like, hey, because again, responsibility, ability to respond is like, well, when that person, that sharp person that usually reacts emotionally to when somebody calls them sharp, they tapped in, did their meditation to clear their mind, did their meditation to find out where them getting mad about being short even started at. It was when their mom or that bully first said something about being short, and ever since then, it's like it's somebody, and that's how we create these little grudges or emotional attachments. And again, if I'm shifting into a different realm of existence, I holding on to that emotion, like how can I experience something new, like fully 100% new? Like how can I be a new me if I'm still holding on to that attachment in that past life? You know, again, just simple science. And when we acknowledge this again, like no good, no bad, right or wrong, and not looking at ourselves as like, oh shit, that's what makes it, again, like creators of our reality, like knowing that I always have in every moment, I have the ability to change and shift this energy. You know what I'm saying? Like in this moment, and maintain our power, like having the strength in our affirmations, strength in like saying like, oh no, mine, like again, I getting back to that aspect, I had to realize like, those doubtful or negative thoughts, like man, it's like not in a combative way of like, oh, it's me against you, just more so that authority of the soul, like I know that's not me. Like I know I'm not pessimistic and doubtful like that, so I don't accept that. You know what I'm saying? Like and saying, being strong about that. You know what I'm saying? Compared to uh if we've been sitting in our thoughts for so long, we've kind of just been listening and allowing for them to just keep running on replay instead of reinforcing them, in a positive manner, in a manner that's well suited for our soul and our soul growth and purpose. I like his own soul growth in that sense. We just literally just kind of like tapping in with our soul and spirit, our divine inner guidance. It just comes off as transforming because once we're tapped in with that aspect of being, that shifts, the mind, body, and soul, shifts the whole situation. But yes, the emotional, attachments. And again, might find ourselves doing still a lot of past life regression, subconscious work or dream work, because the dreams, and again, whether you catching your dreams when you quote unquote go to sleep, or also like whenever we're having, this experience right now, this is a dream world, you know what I'm saying? Like, so being aware of the dream symbols in our waking part of our dream as much as when we're dreaming as well, and realizing that when we're dreaming, that is like practice, you know, for our being, tapping into, the next aspect of our experience, But uh that's it. I went everywhere, but just bringing it back full circle. Sharing with the platform because I realized too, like, let's just say that I would get into a place of just like not doing videos, it gives off that energy. Like it's a balance. Like I'm not here to handicap anybody or be like, again, like somebody guru where you come into me instead of doing the shit yourself or none of, you know what I'm saying? At the same time, and I could feel it in spirit even now. That's why, I'm articulating things, it's like sometimes spirit, the inner being is like, all right, share right now because it helps, for the morale of spirit, you know what I'm saying? Because again, some beings who watch my YouTube channel, you know, may have decided as a soul, like, to learn particularly from, and let's not even just say universal or Carl Ray or none of that. Let's just say from my unique expression of source in this human experience, I carry a certain energy signature that others, can learn from and grasp the lessons from, much easier than, other signatures out there. You know what I'm saying? But, feeling that importance again to like make videos and not and assessing self though, like making sure that and with my break and my hiatus, it's definitely proven I done proved to myself I'm not chasing, no YouTube fame or no, like I could go off the grid with that shit, like I don't give a fuck, I stopped doing video. And that's how I talk with my inner being, like to like, talk it out, cause self-talk is very key, you know what I'm saying? Like don't be afraid to talk to yourself, go in the mirror, you know, not so much focused on the image of what you see per se, but like definitely having and seeing yourself have that self talk. That's how it helps too. Like, if you're normally scared to be aggressive, have like a little aggressive self talk in the mirror, you know what I'm saying? But, it does help, from my experience, the self talk, like affirming and just talking with self. And start to see like damn like the chess game of why they would like make the situation of like, oh, that's crazy people who talk to themselves, like nah, it's really not. know but and definitely tapping in, because again, also seeing right now more than ever, the importance of knowing our getting to know our soul purpose, and not being idle, like knowing what we want to do. Because I'm starting to realize, like, again, back to that, if you don't program your subconscious, somebody else will. And let me not talk too lightly on it, but at the same time, not make it a fear mongering situation, but the awareness of, again, like integrating our subconscious. So not saying a part of us is bad or evil, or not being as scared of ourselves. Because even I had to like jokingly laugh at self, because I'm like, damn, if you stay in that human perspective like too much, again, like, yes, we're on a human experience, but again, like, and just being real, like a lot of some beings are tapped in with source energy on levels that others may not be. That doesn't mean that everything is not one and interconnected. Just again, like a classroom, you know what I'm saying? But where was I? Talking about being tapped in, source energy in our human body suits. Oh, not getting caught up in the human perspective of what it was. I don't know if I was gonna talk about fear or not embracing your abilities. To come back to me. But even having those moments and seeing like, like being aware to not create any enemies or any, you know, like aware. Oh, and that's what I was talking about. Like also awareness of what's really going on, in the sense of like, it's more than just, sourced on the human experience, within this experience, again, like this realm is more than what we always been told it has been. Now, for the most part, again, it is a planet that is like a place for certain souls or just beings to learn in general. You know what I'm saying? That them did something on a karmic level and back here to learn that lesson. Whatever the case may be. And within this realm, you got certain beings that are trying to, confuse you, being antagonists, and certain beings that are in alignment, you know, with what you got going on, you know. But seeing the importance of acknowledging that and not looking at it from just the, oh, everything is spirit. Like, because again, yes, you do want to focus on what's going well. You want to focus on the you want to be optimistic, you want to be positive, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't want to be, because again, the true essence of being is enjoying ourselves. Again, like we're doing shadow work or any of that type of stuff, that's if we find ourselves continuously repeating the loop where no matter how positive, because that's the thing, like, all right, I done, did the positive affirmations and focus on things going well, but this energy seems like it always keep coming back up. So that's when it calls for, the past life regression or, you know, or tapping into, the dream work or, like going deeper, like doing the shadow work and seeing like, all right, this is a part of me that I'm still not willing to accept or that I'm against or, that I label as bad. And so, and I label it as bad subtly. So even though I consciously tell myself like, oh no, I don't see that as bad. I don't see that as bad. I operate in a manner that would express or, obviously say that I may look at that energy as bad. And again, that's not to say that, again, you not dealing with a certain thing is subtly saying that. I'm just speaking from this perspective. Because again, some things we don't deal with is because we truly feel like, it's not meant for us to deal with. But again, on tapping in with seeing what's going on with self, because again, even self sabotage is not so much a like self sabotage as much as it's like psychology of integrity and having a split moment. Like the movie Split. You know what I'm saying? Because if we don't integrate all these different aspects of our psyche, you know, uh, and value each one of their existence. Unconditionally acceptance doesn't mean that, like again, I unconditionally accept the 40 drinker I used to be. That doesn't mean I'm about to pop open a 40 ounce right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's where I had to clean up the shadow work. In some cases, though, sometimes it may take participation in that behavior, but go with your inner guidance on that. You know what I'm saying? Of how, because again, some of us may, again, like, in order to fully accept this behavior, we have to go through it again. Because that's another thing where if we still judging a certain behavior or still view it as bad or unacceptable, sometimes we'll be put through that energy, you know what I'm saying, of what we judged or call unacceptable. Because, and shout out to the universe in the essence of like, because like, all right, you keep judging it externally. Now you going through it. So now you have no choice, since again, since one of the main practices is unconditional love, and you understand that by default, you're going to unconditionally love this aspect because now it's no longer just outside of you. Now you're, you know, not sweeping your porch, or now you're, you know, eating non-vegan food. So now you get to see like, all right, unconditionally love yourself. You know what I'm saying? And again, by default, with the system set up like that, where it's like, all right, if you keep judging it externally, or you keep labeling it as bad or good externally, you know, we're gonna show it to you. You're gonna experience it, and by you experiencing it, and again, like for the most part, a lot of us on our growth then at least got to the place of understanding unconditional love. Like you are your best friend. Like if you don't love you, it's nobody else's job to love you. Like the only person who has that job for a period of time, and even some of us in this incarnation didn't receive that much, you know. Where some of us had our moms probably put us in a dumpster or something. But long story short, like your moms, you know, in essence your father, but for sure say moms, because the universe in essence gives the mom no choice but to be there with the child in essence, you know, to some extent again. But like that's the only, moment of life where, you know, you could receive love from outside of yourself enough to take care of yourself, if that makes sense. But again, then you have to, tap into it for yourself, and love yourself. So again, at the least, some of most of us get the aspect of again loving ourselves. So that mechanism of going through something, like, oh man, I never fucking do that, da, da, da. And you saying it from a judgment place, or you know what I'm saying, like then it'll be something that you may possibly go through, like, oh man, I never be woke and then slip up. A word. And not so much as slip up, but like, oh, I'm gonna just once I get on, and it's like, all right, and and again, seeing that by healing ourselves, we are able to help others heal themselves. Because again, at the least, we all helpers. Like, ain't nobody healing nobody out here. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get a Reiki healing is the fact that subconsciously you believe that it could happen and work enough for it to work, but it's your own mind, of accepting that this energy work from this person, like even when I do sound healings, or yes, the sound healing is gonna help physically tap in with certain, and physically, metaphysically tap in with certain areas. But then at the same time, it's not just that, that tool, like, it takes more than just that tool, you know, those external aspects. But I digress. But and that's what again, like going back to like is you healing you, you know, like hence why sometimes and I'm balancing myself out with that and finding integrity, like not being so extreme about like that aspect of like, like I don't want to do nothing that causes people to have to come back to me, you know, in the sense of like, like was like having like little classes with a follow-up class, because I realized the importance of, like a lot of us, just like myself, I didn't sit there and get every single thing from my inner meditation. I did remember, because again, like when we tapping in with books or watching videos or whatever, it's basically like just reactivating the information. It's already within us. I think about Bro C. Freeman L. Is breaking down the word educare, and educare is the root word for education and to like draw out, so if I'm drawing out something, that means it's in me. So if I'm educating myself, I'm drawing out information that's already in me, you know, again, and seeing more now than ever, of the balance, with reading or watching videos, like right now, more than ever, like with watching a video or doing anything, like, all right, that's cool. It's just making sure though that first and foremost that we could, depend on our depend and trust on ourselves and our inner intuition, letting our inner guidance, because I always think of like, if the internet shut off or what, like would I be able to navigate, you know what I'm saying? Would I be able to tap in telepathically, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm not against artificial intelligence. I just support my inner technology before the external technologies because I see that that's the best balance, for me in my realm. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have this gift and this ability, I would rather be tapped into it myself because again, this realm it got a lot of stuff popping off. You know what I'm saying? So being aware again, back to intuition, like like feel it with your heart. Like don't just not fuck with artificial intelligence just because Universal said it. Don't just fuck with it because so and so said to fuck with. You know what I'm saying? Like find it for yourself, you know what I'm saying? And see like, all right, is tapping in with this really gonna be beneficial for what I came to align with in this lifetime? You know what I'm saying? Like, did I come here to promote R2D2 or did I come here to promote the R2D2 within? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and again, I say it in that form or fashion because let's be serious, like I never want to say anything to swear. I don't like hey, don't fuck with AI. Now let's keep it real, like just in the real sense of it. If I got ability to do something and all I gotta do is work on it to amplify it, then I would rather, do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather activate my inner technology than, depend on external technology. But again, realize the balance of being in this world and not of it. We are here, and a computer could only mess you up as much as you give it that power, in the sense of like, don't give artificial intelligence no extra power to harm you in that sense. It's like, yeah, I work with my shun guy and make sure I'm, protected and tapping in, but not to the extreme of, like of giving it like, oh man, computers gonna kill it. Because again, it is awareness though, like from the Wi-Fi and stuff, fucking with the bees, like the bees not able to communicate as well because all the Wi-Fi and stuff. And again, like it's the natural technology of things. Because here's what happens, you know, if things get pushed out of balance, because that's the spiritual warfare on that level, is like, uh let's just say like the organic aspect of being, because if the organic aspect get pushed out, then it'll be no choice but to have to depend on artificial intelligence, and vice versa. If we strongly dealing with the organic aspect, you know what I'm saying, like then the artificial intelligence has no choice but to fall in line with tapping in with the organic aspect. But being aware. And that's why I always like share straightforward with my videos. As a matter of fact, not on no for popularity or anything. For sure, if you're vibing with videos, press the like button. Share videos on other platforms. I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause even with looking at how my videos is like, you go search for my name and you barely, like, you have to go scrolling. At one time, it was easy to find my stuff, but you know, for whatever it's worth, it has become difficult. And I done played both sides. And again, that's another thing. Like, you be optimistic first, of course, and then at the same time know that it is what it is. Like I'm optimistic that, you know, that my message can't be stopped. Like I don't give nothing that power to stop my message or what I'm expressing. And at the same time, I acknowledge like, all right, I've been optimistic about this. And at the same time, I see that, YouTube been working to make it more difficult to find my videos. I have to acknowledge it at that point. It's not fear mongering. It's not looking at things negative or being pessimistic. It is what it is. It's like, all right, this is how they moving. Acknowledge that with, the fam, like, hey, y'all, make sure you checking out the videos, liking, you know what I'm saying, whatever, whatever. I seen some people even making little, like their own little playlist of the videos I made. That's cool too. But again, like it's the sharing, of the info. But again, these platforms, because I see a lot of us, and even myself, tapping in with, the soul fam, like a lot of the beings genuinely, energetically, you know what I'm saying, tapping in, like having little places where we could meet up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Dolos of the world. And again, I done had this unofficially before, but being more official about like, all right, hey, we in this area, let's tap in. And also like being on some real like healthy boundary setting and discernment, because it is a lot of fugazi energies, a lot of energies that, you know what I'm saying, and again, like having to recognize it and check it in self first and foremost. Again, not looking to try to like, oh, well, look at that over there. Or look at how, it's like let me make sure, I ain't on no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like first and foremost, for sure, for sure. But yeah, just seeing like tapping in with our inner guidance, not doing things because we feel like, that's what Universal or what Brother Panic or Ralph Smart or Bobby Hemmett or Red or Blue Pill or, so and so would do. It's like, you know, because of what we would do. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically it. Clean. Yeah. And I do a little follow up in essence, having a podcast video soon. But definitely just and also seeing now is the vibrate. Like, I was realizing that a part of me not doing videos was, you know, trying to uphold a certain ego or persona of like, as if you're like not going through things or as if you're not, like I can't show people that I'm still growing or show people, because it's a balance. Of course, we don't have to share every single aspect of what we're dealing with and going through, you know, with everybody to that extent, in our every moment. And at the same time, not letting that ego of like, I gotta hold this persona up, you know what I'm saying? Because it's again, that's an equilibrium and balance, you know what I'm saying? Like that's it. It's a balance. Not too far on this side, not too far on that side. Right now, you know what I'm saying? It's the balance area, not too far in the past, not too far in the future. You know what I'm saying? Balancing it right now, But that's basically it. Just wanted to tap in with y'all, you know what I'm saying? And again, the main aspects. Let's see. Again, develop inner guidance. I put develop inner guidance to a place where it's at least 51% more accurate than technology in the sense of like, you know, like in your this says 100% slate, you know, in your moment to moment, 51% of your decisions comes from your intuition, you know what I'm saying? Or your inner guidance or your inner technology before it comes from external people, places, and things, you know. And again, there's no comparison to nobody else as much as you're being the best you could be. So it's like whatever that percentage is for you, just constantly, amplifying it. Like, all right, I trusted yesterday. I used the app to catch the bus. Today, I caught one of the buses, Like, again, like, just you piece by piece. And next thing you know, it's like, shit, you looking up. You ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just tapping in. Fucking could hear a conversation in Belize or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And not to say some of us may not want, certain abilities. I know I don't mind my extrasensory perception and abilities. I know it comes with, certain levels of overwhelming energies, but I embrace, and love my quote unquote superpowers and extrasensory perception and abilities. And I'm grateful to be able to again like share on a platform to make it not seem so crazy or weird, and it's real in the feel of in the sense of of course people looking to be antagonists towards people becoming aware of these things. At the same time though, it's like, all right, again, like if we talking about facing fears, you know then why be fearful of, speaking on what it is, you know what I'm saying, and sharing, because I feel like even with that vibe of like, oh, well, let me not share, that's like inviting that energy of like, oh, so you feel like something can off you for sharing the truth, you know what I'm saying? Because the universe, like, all right. And the universe now is like on some like, Oh man, I could create that for you if you think somebody gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And you constantly hold that thought again. Shout out to this being right by me. Uh, it's like observe your thoughts because they become your words. Observe your words because they become your actions. Observe your actions because they become your habits. Observe your habits because they become your character. Observe your character for it becomes your destiny. You know, I got like your subconscious responsibility. Your responsibility, your ability to respond. You know, and for sure, one of the things I'm grateful to, be honoring and dealing with, is to again like know that I don't know it all. Yes, we infinite source, the Akashic records, that's within us and we're able to tap in. But again, it's like we're not trying to be all of source energy in this human bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? Because literally, like the movie Lucy, which was like a personification of like tapping into that source energy, 100%, you know, well, basically, when she was 100%, like, you know what I'm saying, tapped in, she basically like disappeared, but not really disappeared as much as she wasn't able to be held in the physical body, and she was like, I'm everywhere. Like she popped up on the bedroom cell phone and was like, I'm everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And again, because even seeing with the aspect of source energy, again, like, and not seeing artificial intelligence is good or bad, right or wrong. Source energy is down to, from a cockroach to, you know, just anything, artificial intelligence, whatever. Because even this bodysuit is like a, like a robot. It's a, it's a earthly, organic, earth body robot in essence. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a like, bro, the mechanics of a bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? That's why we create certain technologies to mimic that energy. You know what I'm saying? But that's all the same thing. But back to amplifying intuition, tapping in with the oneness and again making sure we're not getting lost in the duality of things as much as we bring up, you know, again, it's a balance. And that's what one of my things I asked for or affirmed is that I'm able to, you know, have clarity even with all the paradox, and parity of our existence. I'm able to have clarity and able to, be tapped into the oneness and at the same time, be that unique expression of source energy, you know what I'm saying, without confusing myself, you know. But, like having to sit and affirm that. But now more than ever, again, like it sounds cliche, but just knowing ourselves to the fullest, you know, following our heart and directing our willpower. Like again, yes, we are creating, but again, like we are creating from a place of being in alignment with our soul, with our inner source energy, with our inner guidance system, intuition, all those names, we want to call it, but so we want our willpower to be in alignment with our soul and our destiny, and not to be in alignment with, the unhealthy aspect of the ego. You know what I'm saying? And realizing, now more than ever, it's either now or never. Like now is the vibrate, holding myself accountable, and not retelling stories. Like I said, ooh, caught that. You know what I'm saying? Not going backwards, like in a sense of like, let's just say that I feel that I'm still working on this. Like I'm still working on abundance. Like fuck that shit. I am abundant. I am prosperous. Like, shout out to Abraham would bring that up sometimes. Like, like trying to like face reality, like, oh well, that's what I see, so that's what it is. No, I'm a creator of reality, so fuck what I have been seeing. If I have been seeing myself being depressed or whatever, whatever. It's like I could turn the knob in any moment, you know what I'm saying? And know that no, I'm confident and I'm loving life and you know what I'm saying? Like and again, the only time we do have to acknowledge like or go deeper is when we're again like affirming and staying positive and you know, I'll just say staying just strong about what we're affirming, you know what I'm saying? Like if you come across any type of doubt or energy as you continuously doing it, then yeah, it may be meant for you again, like to go deeper into the work, you know, of doing like some dream work, some subconscious, like seeing what's going on in the subconscious, past life regression, you know what I'm saying, or inner child work, you know, some form though of like, because again, our what we're experiencing right now, you know, we're clearing past situations, but until we clear them, you know, again, we're creatures of habit, you know, even through incarnations, even through multiple incarnations, you know, there's stuff, you know, that's showing up in this incarnation, you know, and it's like healing that, you know, now, you know, strongly. Excuse me, I'm just checking. But, and I already spoke again on the importance of letting go of emotional attachments, respond and not react. Whatever keeps us mad is our master. So if something again keeps like, you know, having us, you know, got our goat emotionally, you know, and again, like that's why I I have my little spurts of course is a part of other things going on, you know, as well. But like when I'm back in Louisiana, you know, it's working on detaching, you know, with family, you know. And again, that detachment emotionally doesn't mean that all right now I'm gonna be cold towards everybody and I'm not gonna speak or not. You know, like no, I'm still loving and compassionate. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's from a place that's detached. So when a person might bring up, you know, like, oh man, I'm still taking prescription pills, da, da, da. I won't be emotionally attached to feel like I have to like force healthy information on that family member in that moment. You know, it's like it is what it is. If they want, you know, prescription pills or you know, like, and again, of course, I speak on, but it's like there comes emotional attachment because here it is where I have to allow again, like, cause you mess around and reincarnate just because, like, oh damn, I didn't. So and so still thought that Dr. Sebi was fake, so I, you know, I was emotionally attached to waking up everybody in the family. You know what I'm saying? It's like no, again, and realizing how crazy it is. In essence, whereas like literally the only person that I could save or help is me. Like literally, nobody else could help or save you but you. Again, the only asterisk where you gonna share that situation is if you're a Siamese twin. If you're a Siamese twin, you may be sharing that situation, obviously. But other than that, you know what I'm saying? you know, like, nah. Again, acceptance of shadows, purpose and discipline, knowing our purpose and being disciplined about it, you know, tapping in, letting the intuition govern the willpower. Remember that the idle mind, again, is back to discipline and purpose, you know what I'm saying? The idle mind is a devil's playground, and say devil is that part of us again, like the lower nature, part of us, and the part of us that you know gets enlightenment through this dual experience, you know, illumination from having this dual experience, but not getting lost in the duality of things, you know. And again, like, and the devil ain't no bad or good you know what I'm saying? Because again, it's all perspective, you know. like a person again could either go to jail and be like, bro, I learned so much from being in that. Yeah, you know, Josin is such and such on Earth or well, you know what I'm saying? Is da da da. But bro, I got so much shit out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I got eons worth of, you know what I'm saying? I'd be aware. You know what I'm saying? Like it, but and being aware of those enforcer energies that exist, you know, that again, like, gotta be aware to integrate the subconscious and not be looking at no aspect as bad or harmful or neglecting it or ignoring it. Again, you don't have to participate, you know, again, like to acknowledge and accept that there is a killer that exists within me when that moment calls for it. Again, just like a mama lion or a mama bear, you know what I'm saying? She ain't always acting angry and crazy around her children, but she do have the ability to, you know, to kill something, you know what I'm saying, in case something does come try to harm her or her kids, you know what I'm saying? And that's a healthy heart chakra, you know. Self-love is also in essence, you know, self-preservation and to some extent, you know, part of that is going to be the ego, you know, of course, but it's the healthy aspect of the ego because there is a healthy aspect of the ego that, you know, allows for us to have this experience, you know. Again, uh, I have an ego enough to know that when I get hungry, I stick the spoon of food in my mouth instead of somebody else's mouth, you know what I'm saying? And hence why, you know, it if spirituality was about that loose, like just blur the lines completely. Again, and so in order to feed the grass outside, I'm gonna put manure on my chest, you know what I'm saying? And the the trees are gonna start walking inside the house and eating food. So humans could eat. Like, you know, it's like that don't seem like oneness as much as it seems like confusion, you know what I'm saying? Again, like, and I always use the easiest perspective. The liver has to maintain its unique identity as the liver, enough to carry out its purpose in the body, and at the same time not going to the extreme of identifying itself to the point where it's like, oh, you know, and all the other body parts, y'all don't detoxify shit in this bitch, you know what I'm saying? So if you don't detoxify nothing, you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? Like me and the stomach then got together and said that if y'all ain't detoxifying shit and we ain't letting y'all eat, you know what I'm saying? Like imagine if the organs started gang banging with each other, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, well, the intestines got a alignment with the stomach and liver, you know, and the brain beefing with, you know what I'm saying? Like, he mad, bro. It's like a little universe inside, like little Star Wars going in. But again, like we're not trying to promote, because again, acknowledge the aspect of, you know, yes, it's like a spiritual warfare going on inside of us, but you know, but definitely speak on and focus on the solutions, focus on the inner peace and harmony of your inner being, focus on the integrity, you know, like, cause in understand, you know, like being like picture yourself like again like being like at least, you know, again, if you're not source energy over everybody else or not, you know what I'm saying? At the least though, like you're like source to your bodysuit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like Osmosis Jones, I'm pretty sure the beings call this little, you know, oh, this is the universe of universal, you know? I like Marty. Rick and Marty. But you know, in the city hall is in the heart area, you know what I'm saying? But imagine, you know, all the type of confusion if again like those unique parts were taking their uniqueness or individuality to extreme into an unhealthiness. You know, that would disrupt the whole body. Because at the end of the day, you know, it's about harmony. But I realized, like, you know, with the oneness and us tapping into harmony, you know, the antagonizing energy is gonna up its level of antagonizing, you know what I'm saying? So as much as we are, aligning and realizing the harmony, and tapping in within, there's gonna be, you know, the antagonist is gonna be trying just as much as harder, you know what I'm saying? So having in every moment staying on our shit, and hence why, like even if we gotta have some uh time to self, because I realize anything like I want to get myself in alignment to the fullest, and that doesn't mean that I have to like completely just never mess with anybody any again. At the same time, though, it's like having these little moments to self to tap in, because if as I'm getting to know myself more and more, excuse me, that'll create the people, places, and things that align with, the true essence of my being that I am being, you know what I'm saying? Compared to like, a lot of our trauma buddies and our trauma soul fam, that nonetheless we signed up for them, you know what I'm saying? So like any person, place, or thing where you feel like, oh man, that was like super traumatic or super negative or this, we ask for those situations with those people, you know what I'm saying? And that's another important thing is like unconditionally loving, you know, your past, like not holding any regrets or grudges, like it is what it is. And remember, like holding a grudge against something is messing up your energy, not them. Like I could be like, oh, I'm gonna hold a grudge against the KKK. Who energy being fucked up? Mine, like, is that grudge I'm calling myself holding, is that affecting them? They don't, because look at how it works. They not giving a fuck about what you think. You know what I'm saying, to that extent. So it's just you holding that grudge, literally like holding, like energetically, like, like holding some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and how could I move fluently and, tap into different dimensions if I'm holding on to this one little area, you know what I'm saying? In my experience. And as I say that, I'm talking to myself because it's a constant growth. But I'm talking to myself from a humble perspective. But yeah, I'm on my shit too. You know what I'm saying? For real though. But I knew this was going to turn. But that's another thing. The pendulum got to swing. I couldn't. Got to share. But definitely, y'all, again, tapping in with the inner guidance. Know that everything is working out for you. You know, if you feel like things aren't, take a little step back to assess. 'Cause that's another thing. Like, as long as we're sure about what we're doing. So like as I said, like, hey, like the idle mind is a devil's playground, or like always make sure we're having a purpose and being disciplined. When we hear that word discipline, discipline could also mean like sitting down and doing nothing, you know what I'm saying? In the sense of like if sitting down, if you are sure about that it's the moment for you to sit down and do nothing, and you see how that's gonna help you, to get some type of insight or whatever. And I'm just using that one as an example because most people may view like, oh, I'm being lazy because I chose to sleep in for 3 days. Like, no, like we gotta trust the body. Our body may say to do something because again, we're breaking out of old constructs, old paradigms of like, oh, you got to blood, sweat, and tears, and if you ain't bleeding and sweating, then you ain't did nothing, and you ain't shit unless you fucking got callus on your hands, and you know what I'm saying? Like we're breaking out of, because literally like that we could hold ourselves in a judgment towards that, and when I think about, like creating new worlds, aka, what I'm saying, like new little physical universes, aka seeds or children, like like as we create those seeds, and as I said, it doesn't matter, but like trying to transmute those energies before I bring a seed into this world. I don't want to bring in a seed to this world holding on to that, and of course, having to be there to make sure if I do, let's just say it happens where they come in and I was still on that stuff, making sure to the best of my ability that I'm being a beacon to transmute that energy, you know what I'm saying? But Again, just whatever feels best, for you in this moment. That's what it is. But again, like tapping into our emotional intelligence, like what is our body, because again, why shit gets so confusing and why I watch things, how it could become confused. I got clarity now. I'm gaining clarity, I 100% clarity, all that, claiming all that. Uh, it's following the intuition first and foremost, like even one of my affirmations I done added is my inner guidance and intuition is my first and last confirmation, you know, like and keep affirming it, repetition, program the subconscious, and yes, the subconscious receives symbols better than words, but words work as well still, you know what I'm saying? They still work. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's basically it, guys. Peace, peace, happy now. You already know now the vibrating, just tapping into, you know what I'm saying? Like inner guidance, letting the heart be the guide. And realize and acknowledge, too, before I go, that, again, like being aware too, as we share these truths and all this, and that's where this video started. The less, again, like, certain aspects could be promoted. Because, yes, it's a fact, again, without fear mongering and adding to this parade, it is what it is. This is already trying to be implemented, like, but almost like create like a Hunger Game situation, you know, uh, in America. But again, that's not going to be able to be created by us having awareness and focusing on solutions, and of course, like having that balance of being aware of what has been going on, but then being uh optimistic about the solutions and the answers to what we have been dealing with and seeing. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. Peace, integrity, love, gratitude, being grateful in every moment. Yeah. Peace, y'all. Not too far in the past, not too far in the future. Right now. Peace, peace.